Baby, first of all,
the fans are going to want you to come out of retirement. And actually, I think this is good because you can segue like how I have graduated and 10 years later, I've elevated.
Yes.
This is the new,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that you should keep doing the interviews.
Listen.
I'm supporting.
The girls be in their feelings. A lot of the girls be in their feelings and they be feeling some sort of way. And to me, I really don't give a fuck. I really don't like when I think about like the concept of the show.
Yeah.
Like y'all do what y'all do, and I'm just the character, and I make fun of it. But in my real life, I don't give. It's not that deep for me.
When I tell you, like, because you don't really know. I mean, you might, but not really. I'm a very spiritually inclined person.
Okay.
And when I went to your page and I saw that you pretty much were like on a hiatus and you came back and you did like a few episode reviews. And I was like, you don't realize what you've just done.
What you mean?
Because like even when I had this conversation with Natalie, I don't even think you realized how big of a part you played in the Bad Girls Club franchise.
Oh, well, but no one would ever be bold enough to tell me that, if that makes sense.
Oh, well,
like I know it from the fans, but
I'm here to let you know, like us girls, like nobody was interviewing us on a consistent basis or even trying to like talk to us and have conversations with us or even give us the room or the space to speak.
The mic to you. Mm-hmm.
Nobody was ever really doing that.
Right.
And you had so many, you interviewed everybody. Even the girls that motherfuckers didn't like.
Yes.
You ain't just go and interview the fan faves. You interviewed the motherfuckers that got their ass whooped that bitches didn't give a fuck about. Like you did it all. And I feel like with Baddies, we don't have that. Like somebody might, look at God. You, child. You know how we was just talking and you were saying, J-Lo, why you keep doing Baddies? And I'm like, okay, well, because I know that I'm really supposed to be doing all of this great shit, but I'm a little bit afraid of my greatness, like in so many words, because that's really what it be. We be afraid of our greatness.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, for me, I'm gonna tell you, all I'm waiting for is the call, because I'll do it. I will do it. But the thing is, though, I'm not trying to be the next TT or whatever the boy name is that got his, what is the boy name? He got the show on the network. Fall in love with the black boy that does the girl character too.
Oh, TT Quay.
TT Quay. I'm not trying to be that.
No, because I feel like now 10 years later we see Wesley.
Yes.
Mona has graduated to maybe just like internet skits or like just like the little reviews, but then when you sit down and you talking like this, it's real life because nobody is doing this with us.
Yeah.
You know how many girls where are the girls from Baddies South? Why you ain't sitting down? Talk to Sydney. Ask her why she been following the Baddies around all of
Sydney a fool.
But
I'm cool with it though. I'm cool with that. And I would be down to do that. Definitely would be.
I think that after this, you should do a few more and just kind of like see what the internet says.
I'm with it.
I think that you should really take a chance with it. Like for real.
I'm with it. And it all start with people like you saying, okay, let's do it.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Like when I was on my way over here, or not even when I was on my way over here, yesterday when you sent me your address and I saw how close you live to me, and with me knowing that you really don't do this no more for real, and like this is just like a good catch up amongst us, I was like, damn, you know what? I want to do my own podcast and like I want to actually do this. I was like, I wonder if he would just help me do the Jayla show.
Yeah, we could.
But even outside of that, like not even to make it about me, like I'm telling you, like there is a lane and there's a bag for you, even outside of the money, just the pure love of it, the fact that you take the time and sit down and talk to us.
Yeah.
I don't think you really understand how big that is. Like,
well, for back in the day when I was doing it with Bad Girls Club, I understood it then because just so y'all know, I'm a first of a lot of things, especially with regards to YouTube. And so it definitely showed improved on the last review that I did, because I did an hour-long review. I did the Mona character, and every single comment was like, Oh my God, this is so
missed you
crazy.
so
Yeah, where you been? I grew up watching you. Da, 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 da. And so, quick little segue. I stopped doing them on the character because in the gay life, okay, men that dress up are called trans. They're called drag queens. You don't really understand that it's a comedic character. You wouldn't say it's reminiscent of Medea or Shanae or Wanda or any of them because those men are known to be straight. So
Right.
those men are just playing around and being comedic. When a openly gay man does that, oh, he's just trying to be a girl. He want to be a black woman so bad. That played in my psyche. And as I got older, trying to date and trying to, find a partner. And then, of course, they see it because back then it was like overly popularized. I don't want to be with no woman. I don't want to be with no trans. Oh, this how you are in real life. It fucked with me, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? I am, and people, y'all wouldn't know in the YouTube land, but in my real life, people call me the straightest gay man ever.
Right.
I'm not that nigga like that.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
when I met you here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
I don't even remember.
It was like a walk by. I was
At the club?
I was. I don't know if you lived in that apartment building or wherever we was, but it was in the city, right near Atlantic Station. And I came and saw you in that building over there, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Da da da. And it was a once over kind of thing. I'm a regular dude. I'm not some. Hey, girl, what's that? That's not me.
When I met you, I knew you was good people. When I met you, when I tell you, my spirit of discernment is like no other. I was like, Wesley is good people.
Yeah. I'm so plain Jane, it's ridiculous. But I'm down to interview all the ladies majority of the ladies out there. There's some of y'all out there that I can't get past it. There's some.
Child.
I'm just saying. Just based off a moral code for me. It's just some that I just but majority of the girls, I interviewed Valentina when she was going through, she was one of the most hated on her season.
Yeah. I
interviewed her and I've interviewed a lot of girls. So yeah, I'm down with the cause. If you know a lot of these people before I do. So hey.
If there's anybody in your brain that you would like to interview, just let me know. Cause I think you asked me a question earlier and I didn't answer it fully. You said that when I'm not on the show, do I feel like there's a dynamic missing, or do I feel like there's a certain dynamic that I bring to the shows after being gone from 2 seasons and coming back?
Yes.
And so to answer that, I do feel like there is a dynamic missing when I'm not there. I feel like when I'm not a part of the cast, it's more chaotic. I feel like when I'm a part of the cast, it gives a little bit more like camaraderie and sisterhood.
Yes.
Because I'm very level-headed and all of the girls come and talk to me. All of them. Every single one.
Okay.
Even the ones I fought on Midwest,
I'm gonna take
all had a conversation with me.
Listen.
And everybody loves them some motherfucking Jayla, whether they want to admit it or not.
Listen, baby, I'm gonna remember this and we're gonna talk about her because of Midwest. But I want to segue back to Caribbean, okay? Bianca.
Okay.
Are you cool with Bianca?
I never really had no real issues for real with Bianca. Like, I kind of knew Bianca in passing from like being like from New York, and I used to live in New York, and then like social media and just different things. Like, we were cool but never really like friends for real. We never really had an issue. We hung out once in Miami. Natalie had a boat and she was cool. I ain't have no issue with her.
In theory, let's just say the story, this is my terminology, it's not Jayla's, but let's just say the storyline that was proposed to us was that Bianca was brought on as Mariah Lynn's friend. They had known each other or whatever. And Bianca was on that with Sapphire because of how Sapphire and Suki went after Mariah Lynn. And so it was up and it was stuck when she came through, and that's exactly what happened. Do you feel that was it the right move do you feel that Sapphire was snuck, and do you feel like you are understanding of why Bianca did what she did?
I do feel like she snuck Sapphire because there wasn't really any previous dialogue to what the issue was. They wasn't arguing.
Right.
She walked up like she was giving her a hug and she hit her.
Right.
And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's different if me and you arguing and I hit you first.
Right.
You know, it's pressure between us.
Right.
You should have your guard up. I know to have my guard up on a bitch I'm arguing with. I just don't know who gonna hit you first.
Right.
Who gonna hit who first?
Right.
In that moment, she snuck Sapphire. That was a pussy ass move. I'm sorry. I love Sapphire. That's my girl.
Yeah.
That is my girl. I love her down. And in that moment, I knew that I couldn't fuck with Bianca. Even though I had met Bianca on a boat and she was cool, I knew, I said, this bitch snuck my friend. And I can't fuck with you for that reason.
Do you feel like the hate on Bianca was stretched way too much? Like there was one moment.
I feel like they did kind of like drag it a little bit. But again, whatever issues she had with whoever,
Yeah.
I didn't really know much about it. You know, like I was kind of catching the tail end of it like everybody else. There was a lot of he said, she said going on. But when it came down to it, like, I never had no real issue with Bianca. I still don't have no issue with her. Like, I voiced my opinion on how I felt about her actions and her, you know, sneaking and not wanting to give Sapphire her fair fade and, you know, just all of that. But even like when Diamond snuck her when we was outside at the thing, I said that shit was wrong as fuck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I just told you how much I love Diamond.
Right.
So two truths can exist in the same sentence.
Okay.
And I'm cool, you know?
I could definitely respect that. Callie seemed to be like a girl. Y'all had this moment on the beach and everybody was fighting and thumping and she beat the black out of Jelly Bean.
Baby, the brake shoes.
Listen. And so you get to fighting her and I ain't gonna lie now, I was a bit fearful. I'm like, oh Lord, is she about to Jelly Bean Jayla? I'm like, what's finna go down? Now she charged after you like a bull going to a red carpet and you just one piece, bow. And she felt it and she
She started twerking.
she's like, whoa, okay, well, what's going on? What was leading up to this? Did you really have animosity with Callie or she was just, what was happening in that moment?
That's a lights, camera, action thing.
Okay.
So, she wanted to just take up for Gretchen so bad. I guess like, you know how like, I guess people want to be like, oh, Jayla, why the fuck are you friends with Natalie? And I'm like, well, I love her. I guess I'll be her one friend. Like if the world hates her, that's my friend. I'll love her. I guess that's how she felt about Gretchen.
Okay.
So just to quantify it.
Yes.
Or to,
yes,
you know,
yes.
for the people.
Yes.
So I feel like she felt like if nobody else was going to like Gretchen or give her a chance, she would be the open-minded person to do that. And I didn't fault her for it. I didn't not she with Gretchen. Like before me and her got into it, I got pictures of us in my phone, like of this girl, like of her sleep and like, oh, I got her sleep right here.
Yeah.
Or like us being down on the beach, like playing in the sand
seemed like a
together.
girl.
She's so cool.
Yeah,
she really is like, and even, I feel like even as, I feel like this, I feel like Callie was being loyal and trying to be a friend to somebody. And it ended up biting her in the ass in the end.
Okay.
And that happens a lot of times when you have a good heart and you can see the good in people. Sometimes you do end up getting burned in the end. And I feel like that's what happened in the situation with Callie and Gretchen. Because we was all saying it, and she wanted to whatever. And we know other people that are like that, or, you know, we've heard of stories of, you know, whatever. But I feel like when it comes to Callie, like, I ain't got nothing against that girl. Like, I don't know her. We fought on the show and yeah, she whooped Jelly, but she ain't whooped me. But, you know, like, clock it. And days, but like I said, like days before that, we was just like swimming in the ocean together, like, playing and drinking, like it was
just give you a headache though.
It hurt my feel. Honestly, like I am sensitive. People think that I'm just like this big tough.
Yeah.
Like I'm sensitive as fuck. Actually, I cry a lot. Like I'm a crybaby. Everybody knows. Like Jayla, she gonna cry and she gonna fall asleep anywhere. Like everybody know. Like I'm gonna fall asleep wherever.
Give me a headache. Like
I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm gonna cry. Them two things I'm gonna do.
In the water, and then now I'm fighting you. That's just so crazy.
It was just so heartbreaking, like to walk into the scene because like you know what's going on. It's like goddamn, like all right, it's like so today we playing lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
That's how I call it in my brain. It's like all right, so I guess today we playing lights, camera, action. Motherfuckers got a battery in their back. We got to make it good. All right, so today we making it good for TV.
Yeah.
Because we was just cool.
That's crazy work.
And it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, I can literally go back to when we filmed Caribbean. I have so many pictures and videos of me just like doing random stuff or like catching random moments with almost all of the girls.
Yeah.
And when that happened, like I said, we ain't best friends or nothing like that, but it was like, we really didn't have no issue with each other.
Right.
That's why it took us so long to fight.
Right.
We had no issue with each other. That's why that shit took so long. I ain't had no issue with that girl.
Would you say that from what you've seen that Scotty, child, she got the drive now. Don't give her the whole vibe. That's the same
Charlotte,
stuff.
12 minutes up the street.
That's the same stuff. Because I said, that's your bottle. I don't want her. Would you compare, or is there room to compare your relationship with Natalie and Scotty's relationship with Natalie?
It's different. It's different.
Because it seems like we hear y'all say, oh, we friends, that's my girl, that's da-da-da-da. And then we see what we see. And from our vantage point, it seems like Natalie just dogs the shit out of her. She still comes on every season. And it seemed like this last season, Scotty was piping off now this last season, but she back and she going on Baddies Africa. So it's like, what's tea? What's tea, coffee, Kool-Aid? What's that? What's getting
Well, I'll say this. When it comes to like my relationship with like Natalie and Scotty, because I knew Scotty before she was on TV, just like Natalie did.
Okay.
So Scotty went to Dubai with us in 2019. So I met Scotty. I've known Scotty since 2019. So I think she might have either still been in college or like just graduated college. And she was just like so cute. And I always loved me some Scotty. She just always been like a little sister to me. And I think we both kind of always looked at Natalie like big sis. And so their relationship is their relationship. And then my relationship with Natalie is my relationship. And then my relationship with Scotty is my relationship with Scotty. So it's like, we all intertwine, but all of our relationships with each other are different. Does that make sense? Like me and Scotty, like Scotty has me saved in her phone as like big sis Jayla, my role model. Like, cause Scotty loved me like that, but she's always had me saved in her phone like that since we met, because we just have this very pure, organic, like kindred relationship. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so literally since we met, we just always been like sisters. Like,
that's dope.
Always. But even like Natalie, I always look at Natalie like my big sister. And I tell people all the time, like with that relationship, I'm not always gonna get along with my sisters. Like even in my real life, my sisters be pissing me the fuck off. I be cussing them out. I be calling my mama. I be telling on them. I'll even call my daddy and tell on them if you get to it. I'm calling and I'm telling on y'all when y'all do shit that I don't like. And even if that mean that I don't talk to you for a little while and I come back around when I ain't got an attitude no more or whatever, that's how family dynamics work. And after you've been friends with people for a long time, y'all not really friends no more. You kind of turn into family, especially when you work in an environment like this where you spend so much time away from your family. We become family.
That makes sense. And I think we're not
always gonna get along. Do you always get along with your brothers and sisters and your mommy and daddy and like all of that?
Well, I don't even really talk to my family at all.
Exactly.
But I do understand the dynamic that you're referencing. It's just, when we see it, it's just like, damn, what? But I know a lot of us, it's real. Like you do have that friend that she pissed you off last month and y'all haven't talked and whatever. And then you ask you to see her at the club and you're like, bitch,
come take a shot.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? You know what the difference is between like me, Natalie, Scotty, and the rest of the world?
Yes.
Our shit is just being filmed.
Yeah.
Y'all see us going through everyday real life shit, and it's just being filmed. Like, how many times have bitches fell out with let me say something. I have a best friend. We've been friends since we was 11 years old.
Yes.
The girl who does my makeup, Glamber ATL, that's my best friend. We've been friends since we was 11 years old. Y'all don't want to know how many times me and this girl fell out. The internet don't know it. Yeah. We never went to the internet. But because that is not the nature of our relationship. Our work life isn't displayed. Amber went through the whole Caribbean with me. Amber going to Africa without me to do makeup. It's my best friend. But when me and her have a disagreement or a falling out, we might cuss each other out black and blue. But the world doesn't see it. If you get into it with one of your friends, the world is not seeing you and your friend argue or fight or whatever and able to give their opinion on it. That's the difference. And I feel like that's what kind of makes it sometimes a little bit hard to make up with your friends or to say, hey, I did do something that was wrong and I apologize.
Makes sense.
I feel like there's a lot of egotistical shit.
Right, you saying it right there.
But you get what I'm saying? So like when people be like, why are you friends with Natalie? Or why is Scotty friends with Natalie? Or like, whatever. It's like, y'all got to remember, everybody go through shit in their real life. Yeah. And because we are friends in real life, some of it's gonna spill over into the camera.
They should.
But that don't mean that we love each other no less. It just means that y'all really catching us doing some real shit.
Yeah.
And y'all want reality TV and y'all want the real, but then when we give people the real of it, y'all don't, that's not enough. That's not good enough. Because now it's like, okay, going back to what just happened between me and Natalie. It's like, okay, Jayla, we just seen Natalie do some fake ass shit. You better not never talk to that bitch again. You better not.
Right.
But bitch, if you and your motherfucking friend of 10 years y'all fall out, y'all gonna cuss each other out, and guess what? Y'all gonna smoke a blunt and make up later. Even if y'all don't do it right away, you might gotta let it breathe for a little while. But your friends is your friends. Your family is your family, and that's just what it is. Like, so that's why, like, even when you ask me about my relationship with Natalie or whatever, I ain't finna get up here and dog my motherfucking friend out for nobody. I don't give a fuck what the fuck she did on national TV. That's still my motherfucking friend. If I choose to call her my friend, it ain't up to nobody else. If I say that's my friend, if I say Natalie is my friend and I want to keep her in my life as my friend, it ain't nobody's business. If I say Scotty is my friend, Anna is my friend, Rolly is my friend, DTB is my friend, Pretty P or whoever, whatever, Krishan, whatever.
Got you.
If I say that I am choosing to be friends with these people for whatever my own reasons are, it ain't nobody's business to question it or refute it, because y'all don't have to live my life. When the cameras go down and we're living our everyday life outside of the 40 days that we film, y'all don't know what conversations we have. Y'all don't know what we're doing every single day in the interim when y'all are watching episodes that have been pieced together purposely for your entertainment.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, and this may shock you. It may shock y'all. But I've watched all the seasons of Baddies, and there's only one moment in Baddies that made me feel like this is some real shit, and I love every minute of it. It is the moment, and again, this may be a surprise, but it is the moment where you're at the reunion and you doing your ones and twos with Gretchen. And Callie, for whatever reason, feel a need to attach herself to Gretchen to fight you. It is the moment when Sapphire comes from behind and yokes her up and is like, we're not doing no jumping over here. When I tell you that it felt real. That was like one of the realest moments I've seen in Baddies. And I'm sure y'all might have some other moments for y'all. But for me, I felt like one or two things, or maybe both things are true. Sapphire got a moral compass and she ain't down for that shit. And she fucks with Jayla.
That's my girl.
And I was like,
I was just with her earlier.
That was just so dope to watch. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and then, of course, everybody was like, oh, why Natalie didn't help Jayla? Natalie just left Jayla to fend herself. Whoop the whoop the whoop. What is your response to that? Because I did have that. I had that same shit. Sapphire got up so fast, like it was nothing. She got up so fast and yoked her ass up and said, oh no, not on my time.
I feel like I be wanting me out of people, and I don't get that.
Now that's some real shit. Now can we clink glass on
child.
that? Clink glasses on that. Yes, indeed. Now, yes, indeed. You can't expect you out of the next person. You just can't, man.
And so, I be wanting me out of others, and when I don't get that, my feelings be hurt. And so, I gotta be fair. Shit, when Natalie was fighting on Baddies South at the reunion, I did not jump in for her because I was mad at her for talking shit and telling my business during the season. And me and her were kind of like into it when the reunion came. So when she fought, I didn't fight with her because I looked way too cute, and you had been talking about me and telling my business, you and more. So I was not fighting. That's why I did not fight at the reunion. And Natalie knows that, like, this is old shit, but
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we've moved past that. This was years ago.
Yeah.
But saying that to say, now, wait, what was the question?
Natalie not jumping in for you, but you referencing that point makes sense.
And so when it came to like when Natalie be getting into it with like other people, or you know, like whatever it is, or like whatever, Natalie will handle her own shit, but I always got Natalie back. Always. But and I mean, like in a physical way, and you know, wherever, I always have her back. When we get to moments and there are physical altercations happening and Natalie don't be having my back, I be mad as fuck. Cause I be like, bitch, just get in there. But then I also have to remember, you gotta know who your friends are and who they ain't. Yeah. She's not that girl. She's a fashion girl. She want to be cute. She want to, you know, she's an entrepreneur. She's a boss. She's a business lady. Natalie, at this point in her life, she wants to be cute. She don't want to have to do all of the fighting and stuff. And it is a very hard pill to swallow when you willing to take a hit for one of your friends, or like when you willing to have the back of a friend, but then when the shoe is on the other foot, it's not returned. So what I'll say to people is this, and they kind of heard me or saw me say a little bit about it on the internet or whatever, but me and Natalie, we fight for each other, but in different ways.
Got you. I mean, I understand that.
And so that is why when it comes to her physically defending me or taking up for me, I kind of give her a pass, because you got to know who your fighting friends are. Yeah. Natalie, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, because I love you. You my big sister, and I love you and I respect you. I'm not calling Natalie for a fight. To talk some shit and get a bitch under her skin, to let you, if I want you to know that you a poor ass, broke ass bitch and you ain't on my motherfucking level, I'm going to call Natalie to reinforce that. The rich bitch shit. The boss shit.
Why did you and Meatball happen?
You want to know what? I can't even really explain to you why. And even I want to know that, because I'm walking around with a bite on the front of my chest because I defended Meatball. Let's clock it. And I'm so glad that you asked me that question. I'm so very glad that you asked me that question, because when Gretchen was going the fuck off in that living room or in the foyer area when they came in and her and Meatball got into it, I was the only one that G-checked Gretchen for calling Meatball a nigga. Yeah. And then later on in the season, you see Meatball trying to get moments off of me, thinking that I was bullying Big E, or, you know, like whatever. Yeah, all that. And so for me, it's like, bitch, did you forget when nobody had your back? And this is not even me speaking on it, but just me with this little token in my back pocket, because I know the real. There was a moment where she kind of like checked you a little bit. She tried to check.
Yeah, when y'all was out in that little walk safari thing or whatever.
Let me explain.
You wasn't scared for your life.
I talked to her. Let me explain something to y'all. Before that scene happened, because they prep us for each scenes and let us know, like, okay, this is what we would like for you guys to like discuss. Or we don't just get out there and be like, oh, the sky is blue and there's a monkey over here. Like, we have to narrate. We're narrators. Yeah. And so in that, you know, in that moment or before we actually started filming the scene, I told her, I said, I will let you say whatever you got to say. I said, do not put your hands on me. I said, don't put your hands on me and don't get too disrespectful. I said, and then we good. I said, I'll let you say whatever you have to say. I said, because you got to remember, like, I'm BGC royalty. I've been on TV for a long time. Yeah. Nobody ever checks me or goes up against me. It's not a thing that's ever really done like that. I said, so when the internet sees Meatball checking Jayla or going up against you, that's why you see me laughing in the scene, because I didn't. That was a purpose. That was on purpose. Like, me and Meatball talked about that before it happened. I told her, I said, the internet is going to love you because you are the one person that's standing up to Jayla and saying what you gotta say to Jayla, and no one ever. Yeah. And it's not like I'm the big bad wolf, but I always make sense when I speak. So it's like, what the fuck can you really say? But she was a person that had an opinion. Yes. And not a lot of people really ever check me. And she took that moment to check me, but I allowed it because I knew that it would make. I allowed Meatball to check me on camera because I knew that she would make good TV. Don't y'all ever think for a motherfucking moment at my big grown age that I'm letting no little girl disrespect me. Don't ever think that. The same person that I defended, that's the same person that I defended against a non-black person for saying nigga, and that is how I ended up with the bite mark. If you go back and watch it, her and Meatball was arguing first, and I said something to her about saying nigga because she was saying nigga to Meatball. And then Meatball fucked with me, and she tried to pick with me all season long. But even when Meatball did her little shit, if you notice, I always took moments to pour into Meatball and say, look, you don't need no chain to define you. You ain't got to pull out no weapons and be trying to stab nobody and fight nobody, because Meatball was crashing the fuck out. She was telling the producers if she had to fight the replacements or if the replacements was moving into the house, that she was going to be stabbing people and fighting people. Cutting people. She had razors and blades and all kind of shit.
J.O. home. Why send J.O. home?
I actually like J.O.
Yes.
J.O., me and J.O. have mutuals. Like, we would play around and be like, oh, we was cousins, because my dad's family, side of the family is from Ohio, and she's from Ohio. They like from like the same little area. So I'd be like, girl, we might be cousins. And so we got this little ongoing joke, like, hey, cuz, what's up, cuz? But like, she actually knows people like that are connected to my family.
I like J.O. I liked Kiva, and I like, what's her name? Havana or Heather?
Heaven, yeah.
Yeah, and I liked her.
Honestly, I didn't really get a chance to know all of the replacements like that, but the ones that I did interact with or have a few conversations with, they was cool, like Heaven or Kiva and J.O. and even Nunu. You know what I'm saying?
I like Nunu. You like Nunu? I like Nunu. Nunu.
Hold on, wait, we got a call coming in.
Go ahead.
From Anna. Hold on, sister.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons. They just make room.